Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Timothy, Time and Refinement, your host. Hope you have been refining. I certainly have. Apologies, it's been a while. As you know, I got a whole nother business full time that I run, me and Jesse. So, got away from me. Time got away from me a little bit. And unfortunately, after this episode, it might be a little bit before I post another one. Hopefully, not too long, maybe a week, 5 days a week, but I've been slacking. But we're here. Super thankful, super blessed. Been trying to put my finger on exactly what I wanted to talk about next, and I woke up in the middle of the night the other night, and I'm like, that's exactly what I've been trying to think about. I put it on paper. It is called the sixth love language. The sixth love language is emotional intimacy. Now, you could probably couple that up with, and one of the other ones, but this is really personal to me. And what is emotional intimacy? Emotional intimacy, my description would be deep conversation, back and forth, no distractions, eye contact. This doesn't even have to be with someone that you love, someone that's in a relationship with you. It could just be a friend. And in fact, this is going towards the friendships. This is my reason for discussing this is talking about conversations with you have with your friends, with your just with your friends. I mean, you can have these types of conversations with your significant other, obviously. But I think as men, we tend to shy away from those deep conversations because we're like, we're going to send each other reels, we're going to send memes, we're going to drink, we're going to have a good time, we're going to party, we're going to laugh. We're going to give each other a bunch of garbage, and that's what it means when you love each other as men, which is true. I'm not discounting that. However, I want to take a step and go a little bit deeper with this and talk about, again, emotional intimacy. Again, this is personal to me because I have found that I really, really thrive in deep, meaningful, not even philosophical conversations, but just deep conversation. Just, again, no distractions, no phone, quiet, over a cigar, could be a drink, could be dinner, but like actually intensive conversation. And I think we're missing a lot of that because we're so distracted. ADHD is just on the rise, right? Everybody has ADHD, ADD, whatever you want to call it. Everybody's got anxiety. So we're just shifting all the time. Our eyes are just shifting. So, and even I struggle with this sometimes. I struggle with maintaining eye contact in a conversation. And which is why it's good for me to be on camera because I maintain eye contact as best I can without shifting all over back and forth. But I really think that this is something we need to tackle as men, especially. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and she was telling me, like, I think you really appreciate and you really dislike people that do not like to have conversation. People that just ask you how you're doing, oh, you're doing good, but like, what if somebody asks you, how are you doing? Like, actually intentive. You're like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, life's been a little rough and tumble. I problems with my relationship. My job, I'm not digging it. It's hard to get out of bed in the morning, that type of thing. And someone's like, tell me a little bit more about that. Like, tell me, why do you feel that way? Why do you shy away from people? Why do you lean back in the corner, per se? And again, this goes back to friendship. This goes back to what it is to be a friend. And we all want, again, I think one of the great comments that I saw in a Sam and Frodo, Samwise Gamgee and Frodo Baggins in Lord of the Rings. Again, I'm getting nerdy here, but here we go. There's an edit of, Sam is always next to Frodo, right? He's always next to Frodo. He carries him, holds the ring, stays with him, dark, cold, defeating, beating Gollum up, that whole thing. And the comment says, everybody wants a friend like Sam, but nobody wants to be a friend like Sam. And so, again, we can intertwine friendship and emotional intimacy in with this, but the fact of the matter is, we don't want to take the first step in actually maintaining meaningful, super meaningful conversation with no distractions, which is probably why therapy culture is so big now, because we feel like we have to go pay somebody an exorbitant amount of money. Again, no docs on therapy culture. Been there, done that for just a little bit. But we feel like we have to go pay somebody to actually, for them to genuinely listen, to take notes, to ask questions. I mean, really, that's what it is, right? I mean, that's what therapy is. We're paying somebody to sit down with us and have a conversation, ask us questions, trying to figure out the root of the problem, what the problem is. And if we really just thought about that and we took that into our relationships, I don't think we would have as much depression, as much anxiety as we do. Now I know everyone's going to say, "Whoa, Timothy, that's a really big stance there." It's like, well, think about it for a second. Think about when you're having a conversation with a friend and you can sit down with them for an hour or two, not feel burnt out, not feel like you have to put on some kind of face or facade, and just sit there and have a conversation, a meaningful conversation, a back and forth. I just really think that we're missing this in society right now. And again, I know personally for me, as I've spoken a couple times already, it's meaningful to me because it shows that that person cares about me. It shows that I am first and foremost. It shows that they are prioritizing me, and everything else doesn't necessarily mean anything. And it's taken me almost 30 years to find people that I can have a conversation with, like back and forth. Like they don't interrupt you. They listen. And again, this goes back to listening to hear, right? But not listening to talk. I think a lot of us listen and we're ready to just pounce in the conversation. Yeah, but or yeah, my life is going like this. Yeah, I know people all the time. It's so unattractive to me, especially in the business world, right? I mean, I deal with customers all the time. I love having conversations. I love knowing people's lives and being able to have those conversations, but it's a lot of one-sided conversation, right? Because I mean, nobody really wants to, listen to me ramble about the food industry, right? But gosh dang it, it's so unattractive to me when people just interrupt me and they're like looking around, they'll like pull their phone out. Like that is such a pet peeve of mine. Can't stand it. So I've tried to take that and internalize that and be like, do I do that when I talk to people? I want to practice what I preach here, right? I'm practicing emotional intimacy. I want people to feel that they can do that with me as well, right? They can come to me, talk to me. I'll listen. I'll sit down with them. Not even fix their problems, but just listen. Because most of the time when somebody listens to us and asks us questions, I mean, we know deep down what we're supposed to do with their lives. We just need someone to care. We just need someone to listen. So, yeah, it's such a big thing to me, and I think a lot of people can resonate with that because we're missing it. We're missing it in society. We're missing it in our relationships, and we're so selfish, and it's hard. It's hard for us to get out of our own head and think about someone else for a change. I mean, it's why my ride or die people in my life, I can sit down and sit down. Hey, can I talk to you for a second? Something's bothering me. Would you mind listening? And you don't feel like you have to take every problem that said person has and bring it into your own life. Like, man, how do I fix this for this person? This person's having job problems. Like, how can I help? You don't have to help all the time. There doesn't have to be an answer every single time. Just being there and listening and maintaining eye contact and genuinely, again, emphasis on genuinely caring about the person's needs and desires is key. So, That's what I got. I just we need to get back to that. And I don't know where we lost it. I don't know if we lost it. I don't know. Maybe it's just people I surround myself with, but everybody's struggling. So we need to be the change. We need to be the change that we want in the world, and that starts with the people that we surround ourselves with. The people in your circle, not the people halfway across the world. The people in your circle, in your life, in your relationships. That's where you start. That's what I got. I love you guys. I appreciate you truly. Thank you for all that listen and subscribe and comment. Again, really looking forward to just seeing how this channel blossoms in time. Just have to stay consistent, right? Consistency is key. Timothy's out. Keep on refining. I love you guys. Have a great week.